Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me start by thanking Chairman Radcliffe for his leadership on the subcommittee, and in particular on the issue of cybersecurity. I've greatly enjoyed our partnership on this and many issues, and I appreciate his due diligence and his hard work on many national security issues. Let me also start by expressing my deep gratitude to Chairman McCall and Ranking Member Thompson in acting so quickly to bring this bill to the floor. Both the Chairman and Ranking Member led a productive committee last Congress, and I'm very pleased that their commitment to protect our national security has extended to swift action this year as well. That urgency is particularly relevant to this bill, the United States-Israel Cybersecurity Cooperation Enhancement Act. As Chairman Radcliffe mentioned, last May he and I traveled to Israel to meet with public and private cybersecurity officials. I think I can speak for my friend when I say that we were thoroughly impressed by the Israelis' efforts in this space. Israel was one of the first countries to recognize the potential threat posed by interconnected computer systems, and they have been leaders in cybersecurity now for decades. For instance, the first stateful firewall technology was first developed by an Israeli firm. Today, these firewalls are ubiquitous across the information security landscape. In fact, despite its size, Israel is the second largest exporter of cybersecurity goods and services, behind only the United States. U.S. companies have certainly taken notice, and Mr. Radcliffe and I, as he mentioned, met with some of their representatives during our trip. Just last week, Reuters reported that one of the components of Microsoft's $1 billion per year cybersecurity strategy is acquisition of 3 Israeli corporations. Collaboration with our closest Middle East ally in this emerging threat domain only makes sense from a national security perspective. Preserving Israeli security is essential to stability in the region. But we clearly have a lot to learn from each other as well, which is why I've championed government-to-government interaction on cybersecurity, such as the recent letter of intent for more information sharing between DHS and Israel that was championed by former Deputy Secretary Mayorkas. Beyond our governments working together, Chairman Radcliffe and I also believe the government can do more to encourage collaboration between our private sector and nonprofit entities on issues directly relevant to Homeland Security. That's why, upon our return, we worked in close collaboration to develop 2 bills to enhance these cooperative relationships. Now, I could not have asked for a better partnership in this effort, and I was thrilled that our first bill, the United States-Israel Advanced Research Partnership Act, was signed into law last month. Now, it is our second bill, which the House passed in November, but failed to make it through the Senate before Congress adjourned last year, that we are discussing this bill today. Specifically, this bill creates a cybersecurity grant program for joint research and development ventures between Israeli and American entities. Projects would be selected after a merit review process and would have to address requirements in cybersecurity determined by the Secretary of Homeland Security. The grants would also be subject to a cost sharing with at least 50% of project funds coming from a non-federal source. Importantly, H.R. 612 leverages existing United States-Israel R&D infrastructure, specifically the Binational Industrial Research and Development, or BIRD, Foundation and the Binational Science Foundation, or BSF. Both organizations have a proven track record of encouraging joint research ventures. BIRD, for instance, has financed R&D and commercialization projects that have led to a cumulative $8 billion in commercial sales since its founding, while BSF regularly funds collaborations between the top scientists in our respective countries, as 45 Nobel laureates have received support from the foundation. Now, using the existing infrastructure, as was done in 2007 when Congress passed the Energy Independence and Security Act, led to the creation of BIRD Energy. It also allows us to capitalize on both foundations' robust networks of United States and Israeli entities to help seed these joint ventures. All of these factors are particularly critical in the fast-moving cybersecurity domain, where offensive and defensive tactics and techniques change on a monthly or even weekly basis. As such, advances in the discipline require a near constant re-examining of assumptions, and having people from different backgrounds and security cultures working together engenders an environment where such re-examination is encouraged. While both the U.S. and Israel have robust cybersecurity communities, further collaboration will spur more advances to combat the threats that we face. And although some of these advances are technological in nature, basic cybersecurity research, such as investigations into the psychology of secure interface design and social engineering, is also supported by the bill. All told, the programs authorized in H.R. 612 will both address urgent homeland security needs and build capacity for further transnational collaboration on cybersecurity, all while matching federal investment with private sector dollars and funds from the Israeli government. Now, Mr. Speaker, I normally preface my remarks on cybersecurity with an explanation of the threat our country faces. I would hope that, given recent events, I don't have to remind my colleagues of the dangers that we face in this sphere, which, as I see it, is one of the key national security challenges of the 21st century. So I would hope that incidents like the recent attack on the Ukrainian power grid demonstrate the power of a computer keyboard to affect our critical infrastructure. I would hope that the breach of hundreds of millions of accounts at Yahoo, which is around 10% of the world's population, demonstrates how pervasive data collection is and its vulnerabilities. And I would certainly hope that the Russian information warfare operations targeting the very foundations of our democracy, our elections, demonstrate the stakes that we face. In the face of these threats, we must join together with our allies to protect a free and open Internet and ensure that the amazing benefits of technology are not overshadowed by the new vulnerabilities that they open up. Mr. Speaker, H.R. 612 is an important step to driving the innovation we need in the security space to meet these two goals. As with any bills that make it to the floor, this bill owes much to the dedicated staff on both sides of the aisle who spent countless hours behind the scenes reviewing this legislation. I thank them for their extraordinary and exceptional work. I'm also very grateful again to Chairman McCall, Ranking Member Thompson, and Subcommittee Ranking Member Richmond for their continued leadership on cybersecurity, and in particular Chairman Radcliffe for his work, and for their assistance in quickly actualizing the lessons that we have learned on our trip to Israel. So finally, I owe once again, just in closing, a debt of gratitude to my friend across the aisle, Chairman Radcliffe, who in his first term immediately had a substantial impact on our nation's cybersecurity, with whom it has been a great pleasure to work. So with that, I look forward to our continued work in this Congress and beyond. And Mr. Speaker, H.R. 612 does three things. It encourages innovative approaches to address top priorities in Homeland Security R&D. It strengthens ties with Israel, one of our closest allies, and it does so in a public-private partnership that matches federal investment. With that, I urge members to support H.R. 612, and I reserve the balance of